guys tell us why you're here?
Why are you so alive?
Maybe?
I'm here for your babies. I'm here for all the babies.
All the babies?
I love all babies. When I'm not born.
Alright guys, so there are Roe V Wade protests going on. If you guys didn't know, it is the anniversary of Roe V Wade being overturned with the Dobbs decision last year. A decision that, in my opinion, probably was the most single important Supreme Court decision in regards to affecting the outcome of the 2022 midterm election. Unfortunately, the court deciding to overturn Roe v. Wade led to a whole lot of misinformation from the Democrats that they're still campaigning on, like the idea that a woman has had her constitutional right to abortion taken away because Roe v. Wade was overturned, which is just entirely not true. However, you have cackling Kamala still out here campaigning on this lie and misinformation that fact checkers refuse to fact check. Take a look.
So that day, the day that the Supreme Court took a constitutional right from the women of America, I was outraged. In fact, the first person I called was my husband, because I could just let it all out with him. And my first thoughts really were about our daughter, my niece, my baby nieces, my goddaughters, and what this all might mean. I mean, for our daughter, she is going to know fewer constitutional rights than my mother-in-law. And so I think we all, at that moment, understood how dire it would be. 1 year later, the majority of Americans are with us. From so-called red states to blue states, from Kentucky to California, when this issue was on the ballot in the midterms, the people voted in favor of allowing women to have the choice about what happens to their body. So going forward, let's not throw up our hands, let's roll up our sleeves. President Biden and I will not stop fighting to make sure that every woman has the right and the choice to make decisions about her own body.
Yeah, so Kamala's basically saying that, look, during the midterms, the thotties showed out to vote, right, for Democrats. And that's exactly what they did. And that's part of the reason why the red wave did not happen. It's because of the misinformation coming from the Democrat Party that a woman's right to abortion was taken away when, no, that's not what happened. It actually just kicked the decision on abortion back to the states, right? Let the states decide what they want to do with that issue. Again, that's democracy, which apparently is something that Democrats don't believe in when it doesn't go their way. So with that being said, again, there were Roe v. Wade protests, rallies across the country. And I want to show you guys one that happened out in Illinois because it kind of gives you a look at both sides of the Roe v. Wade issue 1 year removed from that decision. So I want to go ahead and play that clip. But before I play that clip, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Noble Gold. Just as King Charles III of Britain has a crown with the timeless wealth of gold, you can enrich your future with the enduring value of a gold IRA. Like those precious crowns, a gold IRA doesn't tarnish over time. It shines brighter in economic turmoil. It's a hedge against inflation and stability in volatile markets. This month, the first gold quarter-ounce gold bullion coin ever issued with King Charles III's image can be yours with your own qualifying gold IRA or 401k rollover of at least $50,000 or more. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 877-646-5347 to get started, or go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind.
It is healthcare. Healthcare is a right.
1 year after the Supreme Court issued its landmark decision, leaving millions of Americans without guaranteed access to abortion, dueling rallies at Federal Plaza. those praising the High Court's move to overturn Roe v. Wade, which removed the constitutional right to abortion, on one side of Dearborn.
It's a tremendous historic victory for the pro-life movement, but for the state of Illinois, it's actually made things worse.
Across the street, those marking last year's move as a devastating day in history.
In the 50 years since Roe, that right to control, to autonomy over our bodies is being completely dismantled.
The Dobbs decision has sent a political earthquake throughout the country. Although Illinois has continued abortion rights, doctors say pregnant people from banned states have been flooding Illinois for abortion care.
We see over 100 folks a month from Indiana, from Wisconsin, and definitely at least one person each day from states very far away like Texas and Tennessee, Kentucky, and other states that have banned abortion.
The heated debate remains as anti-abortion advocates push for more restrictive laws in Illinois.
Well, we hope eventually to be able to turn the tide legally in the state of Illinois, to offer legal protection to unborn children and offer policies that will promote family formation instead of abortion.
I think that you totally do have the right to do whatever you want with your body, but your bodily autonomy stops when it harms another individual.
While others fear if this right is so easily reversible, all are threatened.
Once we win some rights, it doesn't mean that they're secure, right? Depending on what the larger political climate is.
In Chicago, Stephanie Wade, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
So you seen that, you heard that. Now, I'm not sure exactly what rights will be under attack because Roe v. Wade was overturned because, again, women didn't lose any rights, right? No woman lost their right to abortion, okay? If you really want an abortion that bad, if you're in a red state that, hasn't banned any abortions, right? There's no red state that has just outright banned abortion, okay? You can still probably get your abortion. And if it's a little bit too late for red states, you can always just go to a blue state, right? Again, this issue is probably one of the most overblown issues in this country, but it is an issue that matters, okay? Because apparently, again, the young thotty vote, they respond heavily to this idea that abortion could be banned, okay? And they come out and they vote, okay? The single young women of America basically are deciding the direction of this country, okay? And they're pushing this country off of a cliff, okay? Single young liberal women, right? Probably the demographic that we're having the most issues with, okay, to be quite honest with you. So with that being said, again, this issue of abortion is, again, so crazy that you have trans activists weighing in on this issue. Okay, they are protesting in favor of abortion. And one activist in D.C. falsely claimed that biological males can have abortions during the Dobbs protest, right? Biological males. So let's read about this because I think that this is an example of just how crazy, right, some of the people are in some of these movements. And it's funny how these people are not operating in reality. So let's read about it. During a protest in Washington, D.C. held for the one-year anniversary of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, on Saturday, one protester proclaimed that the law affects trans-identified males because they are women and therefore can get pregnant and may want an abortion. In a video taken by Thomas Stevenson with the Post Millennial, the man said, quote, "Trans women are women. They have abortions," before chanting, "Trans women are women." Yeah, so again, you see how the intersectionality works here? I'm not sure exactly what trans people have to do with this outside of trans men who are biological women. I'm not sure exactly what it has to do with Roe v. Wade. But again, apparently this is an LGBTQ issue as well too, right? You remember they tell us this is an LGBTQ issue too, okay? I mean, it's fascinating. But let's listen to this person.
Trans women are women.
What does that have to do with
Trans
abortion?
women are women and they can abortion. Trans women are women. Trans women are women.
Can trans women have an abortion?
Trans women can. Because they're women.
What about the trans?
Yeah. So trans women can have an abortion because they're women, right? So with this same logic, trans men who are biological men can have abortions because I guess they can get pregnant, okay? But that would also mean that the woke revolutionary would have to accept the idea that men can get pregnant, which would mean that men should have a say on a woman's right to abortion, right? That's the thing that really gets me about these arguments, okay, when it comes to Roe v. Wade, is that they tell men to stay out of it, right? That you're not affected by this, while at the same time claiming that men, biological men or trans men or whatever, they just say men can get pregnant too, right? Because again, apparently this is an LGBTQ issue. But again, they tell you if you are a straight man, hey, you got to stay out of this, right? You're not supposed to talk about this. Again, it's amazing. What also is amazing to me is how corporate America goes out of their way to coddle and capitulate to individuals who clearly are not living in reality. Like, if you think that biological males can get pregnant, you're not living in reality, right? That's just not the reality of the world. But again, you have woke corporate America and everybody else trying to capitulate and to pretend like that, this is a legitimate topic or discussion to be had with individuals who, again, believe that biological men can get pregnant, right? Again, it blows my mind. It really does. Stevenson asked for clarification. Can trans women have an abortion? Trans women can. The man replied, because they're women. So-called trans women are biologically male and do not have the reproductive anatomy to get pregnant, so therefore could not physically have an abortion, as there could be no fetus to terminate. Biological females who are trans-identified can typically get pregnant, assuming other factors such as commonly given testosterone injections and other related procedures have not made them infertile. In December, Planned Parenthood demanded that people use gender-neutral or inclusive language when referring to abortion. They claim that trans men are men, which means that men can get pregnant. And then they tell you that as a man, if you try to speak on this issue, you got to shut up, right? You got to shut up because men are not supposed to speak on this issue. Again, it's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Former first daughter Chelsea Clinton did not get that memo, as she claimed on Thursday at an Aspen Ideals Health Institute summit without evidence that, quote, women have died after the Dobbs decision due to doctors refusing abortions in cases where the mother's life is at risk. Yeah, I mean, again, Chelsea Clinton sounds like she's not being very inclusive, okay, because apparently men have died because of this as well, too, because men can get pregnant. Amazing. Amazing. The left engages in so much bigotry, right? Whether they know it or not, according to their own standards of what bigotry is. Quote, because of the historical women trope that so often have been used to kind of silence and diminish kind of women and our voices, not only in this country, but throughout human history. But I'm really angry because we know that women have died, she said. The Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization case was decided on June 24th, 2022, effectively overturning the Roe v. Wade court decision of 1973 that was used to protect access to abortion nationwide for over 49 years. The Dobbs decision gave the states the right to regulate abortion how they see fit. In a poll conducted immediately following the decision, 50% of Americans say they agree with the decision to overturn the landmark ruling. Yeah, so again, a lot of people are not really aware of what Roe v. Wade did. Okay, they think that Roe v. Wade banned abortion nationwide, and that just simply hasn't even happened. It hasn't even happened at the state level. But yet again, these people act like there's some existential threat to their so-called rights, okay? And it's just amazing, right? It's absolutely amazing, how you see these people come out here and pretend like they're under attack because they can't get their way politically. In this case, because they can't take away life before it is born. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.